Hello. Well, we're testing out a item purchased off eBay a couple of days ago. This is a General Radio Decade Resistance box, and this has two sections on it. First one is measuring tenths of a ohm. So if you go from the scale of 1 to 10, at the total, we should see 1 ohm, and then tenth divisions lower than that. So as an example, let's say here on the ones unit, which reads from a possibility of 0 to 10 ohms, if we switch to the first position, we'll see on our meter that we have 1 ohm, and 2 ohms, and 3 ohms, and 4 ohms, and so on, all the way up to 10 ohms. And that's working quite well and working within spec. That's good. Maybe even great. So let's turn that back down to 0. And now let's go to the tenths control. And when we switch to our first position, well, here we're getting an overload condition. And this means that no electricity is passing through the circuit, because very likely the resistor is burnt on the inside of it. And because we're on the first one and it's already showing burnt, then no matter where else we go on that dial, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it shows overload all the way through, because this is basically a circuit where 10 resistors are in series. And just like the old Christmas light bulbs, if one of them is burnt out, then the whole line goes dead. And this works on the exact same electrical principle. So basically, this entire section is useless, other than at its 0 position, which is just a bypass position, showing, back down to 0 ohms, or like 2, what's it showing here, about 133 milliohms, basically, but that's only because of the resistance in the wire going from the positive terminal through to the 0 position, and then it will continue on to the 0 position of the next one. And then that return wire is where we get our 192 milliohms, basically. If it were working, then we would see basically where it should say 0.1 and then the 193 milliohms after that, because of the internal wiring. But again, all it does is shows nothing because the resistor is open. So to have this as a listed as a used item is not correct. This should have been listed as a parts or repair unit, but the vendor didn't list it that way. He simply listed it as used and in great shape. And while cosmetically it, great shape is a reasonable description, but when half of it doesn't work, that's not great. Anyway, thanks for watching.